We're going to start in Kansas, and we'll talk with Laban. Hi, Laban. What do you got for us tonight?
Good evening, Andrew. Yes. And first of all, thank you for carrying on the legacy of Bob George and Bob Christopher and other great ministers. I've been grooving on this for 40 years, and I feel like more people are picking this up, which is wonderful. But yeah, this last weekend, and I've appreciated your explanations of the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, way back then, the distinction between the old man and new man, but I wasn't, I'm not schizophrenic, okay?
Yeah.
And that's rich to know.
Yeah.
But, then to understand the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And just this weekend, I don't know if I was reading or hearing or what, but the phrase became I'm in the flesh, but not of the flesh. And I thought, what? Yeah, is that similar, parallel, or there's some significant difference between being in the world and not of the world?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about it, Laban. No, I think whoever said that, wrote that, shared that, whether it was 40 years ago or yesterday, is a little bit off there. So what's happening is they're talking about how we're in the world but not of the world. Now, that's a fact. That's a truth. We Christians, I mean, look at us. There you are. You're in Kansas. You're in the world. You're in Kansas. But you're an alien in this world. You're a new creature in Christ. You're a child of God. You're an ambassador for Jesus. You're from a different place. You've been raised and seated in heavenly places. So you're here for 80 or 90 years or whatever, but you now live eternally in Christ. And so you are in this world, but not of it. All right, well, that's a true statement, but that's not what you were quoting. You were quoting someone who was saying that we're in the flesh, but not of the flesh. Now, that can be really confusing because, first of all, I'm attracted to, in this scenario, Romans chapter 8, verse 9. It says, you are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit. Okay, so if I'm not in the flesh, I'm in the Spirit, then I certainly probably shouldn't be running around town telling people I'm in the flesh, but I'm not of the flesh. What am I talking about? Well, okay, so flesh, first of all, flesh can mean body. Okay, so do I want to tell people I'm in the body but not of the body? I don't think I want to tell people that either, because that sounds weird, and that's not in the Bible, that I'm in the body but not of the body. What, they're going to think I'm, some weirdo or something. You obviously have a physical body, and in fact, even in heaven, you'll get a new one. So we are always intended to be body, soul, and spirit. So we can set that aside, and the bottom line is that phrase, I'm in the flesh but not of the flesh, is probably not the best way to say things, because it's just going to create confusion. How about we go with Romans 8 instead and tell people I am not in the flesh any longer, I am in the Spirit. So what does the flesh mean? Well, the flesh is like that stinking thinking, that worldly way of operating. It's like a realm of attitudes and a realm of, or a perspective. It's a way of getting life done. It's a way of coping. It's a whole system of thought. And that's why Paul says we put no confidence in the flesh. That's why Paul said that his resume, according to the flesh, was, look at me, I'm a law keeper. Look at me, I'm a Pharisee. Look at me, I'm found blameless by my friends. So that's a philosophy. That's a coping mechanism. That's a way of looking righteous. That's a worldly way of thinking. That's a way of establishing status or identity according to the world. So when Paul says, I'm not, that you and I, we are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, he's saying that we got transferred. It's just like saying we're no longer in Adam, we're in Christ. We got transferred. We got transferred across a great chasm. So I used to be in Adam, now I'm in Christ. I used to be in the flesh, but now I'm in the Spirit. Okay. Now, does that mean I never mess up? Does that mean I never commit a sin? Does that mean I never struggle? Of course not. We all struggle and we all stumble in many ways. So, catch this now. I can still walk by the flesh. I can still set my mind on the flesh. And that's why Paul says in Galatians 5, walk by the Spirit. That's a command, it's an instruction. Walk by the Spirit, and you won't fulfill the desires of the flesh. Okay? So I'm in the Spirit, but I don't always walk by the Spirit. I'm in the Spirit, but I don't always set my mind on the things of the Spirit. My location never changes. Just like you're in Kansas, you're also in the Spirit. Just like you're in Kansas, you're in Christ. Maybe you used to live, who knows, you used to live in Virginia or Oklahoma. Well, you got to transfer. You moved to Kansas. And so now you're in Kansas. You don't have to wake up every day and try to be in Kansas. That's where you live. Well, likewise, you don't have to wake up every day and try to be in Christ. You don't have to try to be in the Spirit. You're in the Spirit. Now, the question is, how are we walking? And how are we setting our minds? And that's the part where we learn and we grow, and over time we learn to set our minds on things above. We learn to walk by the Spirit, but we are always rooted and grounded in the Spirit. That is our permanent location. Romans 8:9, you are no longer in the flesh, you are in the Spirit. So I'll put you back on and see. Laban, does that help clear it up, my friend?
Yeah. In order to say I'm in the flesh but not of the flesh, I have to change the definition of the flesh from one to the other, which, like you say, causes
right.
Confusion.
Yeah, it gets confusing. That's right.
Okay.
So if you wanted to run around saying I'm in a body, but I'm not of the flesh, then you could try to make that work. But the bottom line is, look, you want to be an accurate communicator. I can tell that. You care about the details of the gospel. So I think you got it 100%. I mean, you and I are on the same page. Hopefully other people were tracking with us just now. And you, as a Christian, are always in the Spirit. And yet there's a certain way you could walk tomorrow. There's a certain way you could set your mind tomorrow. But you're always in the Spirit, and that is awesome. So thanks, Laban, for your call, and reach out to us anytime. Great to hear from you.